Renovators, mount up!
Of his property, we're damn good.
Here we are at another exciting episode of SBTV Cribs Project Conclusion.
Regulators, mount up. It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume some skirts for the eve so I could get some.
All right, I'm Dave. This is your boss, Steve, and with us today, a very special guest. Direct to you from Mission Custom Cabinetry, our friend Justine, who is responsible for the gorgeous millwork that you see behind us, and also all of the beautiful built-ins that is yet to come. Let's start with this kitchen. This is the showpiece of the home. One of the showpieces of the home, I should say, because there are a lot of showstoppers in here, as you'll soon see. Justine, do you want to walk us through some of the mechanics of this kitchen and how it came together?
Absolutely. First of all, we started off with the design. It was very important to fit a 10-foot island in this space, but still make it usable, functional, but look great at the same time.
Absolutely. And speaking of this gorgeous island, it is enormous, behemoth, but it nestles in so nicely because of Justine's ability to design these things with function, form, and flow in mind. Those are the 3 F's of kitchen design that I just made up right now. But one thing I would like to direct your attention to is this beautiful quartz countertop. As you can see here, we've got mitered waterfalls on either side. Comfortable, and when I say comfortable, I mean it. Comfortable seating for 4. Look at that. This quartz right here, as you can see, it's the same material as on the countertop over there. But most importantly, what I think was a brilliant design in this space is the solid quartz backsplash along this wall here with this beautiful window, highlighting the lights across the top of it. Functional, shining right down on the sink, this gorgeous Frankie sink, sweeping right across the wall here to this absolutely gorgeous wall over here with that custom hood vent, the beautiful stove, flanked by these awesome white oak cabinets. You can see that these are all panel-ready appliances, so what belies the eye does not necessarily show you what's inside, because that right there is a wonderful custom pantry, spice rack, and our refrigerator. Look at that. Justine, you should be in every video. It's like a very Vanna White vibe.
Look at this studio, filled with glamorous prizes.
Look at this. Look at that. Awesome. Then you've got your deep freeze down there. Absolutely perfect. And as you can see, the hue of the cabinetry very much matches these wonderful engineered hardwood floors, white oak throughout, which is gorgeous, flows so nicely into this living room area here. Now we've got built-ins all along here that are very reminiscent of ones that will soon come, and this pocket door that we installed wonderfully hides a gorgeous looking pantry. Now Justine, I know you draw a lot of inspiration from various things such as the homeowner's requirements, but can you tell us how you arrived at the 2-tone pattern for this kitchen? Because I think it's absolutely wonderful.
So it was really important to still have a modern look without having it all be the same and boring. So we wanted to, with the white oak floor, bring in a slightly different color for paint, but then also incorporate the white oak throughout without making it all white oak everywhere. The 2 tones are really important to bring in the other aspects of the wall colors, the flooring, and bouncing off into the rest of the colors of the house. That way we made it fun, functional, and modern at the same time. Over here you can see as well that we did the custom hood. We painted it to be the same color as the wall. It was really important too that because of how square everything was in this design, that we did some curves as well to soften the space. You'll see the light fixtures have a really nice curve to them as well, which helps keep it modern but brings in a softer feel.
Absolutely. And it's consideration for geometry, such as Justine just described, that really is the difference between contracting a builder like SteveBuilt that works hand in hand with a cabinet designer and maker like Mission, and Justine specifically. These are considerations that are made that not all builders are doing. It lends itself so well to giving a vibe that is not too far in one direction or another. The footprint of this home in and of itself is very geometrically interesting, so making geometric considerations when designing a kitchen like this is absolutely necessary to get the whole house to flow and be the best version of this house that it can be. And that is one of the things that we pride ourselves in at SteveBuilt. We're known for our additions. We're known for our whole floor remodels, and making a seamless transition from existing to new is something that we take a great deal of pride in. You're standing right now in the addition of the home that we built for these homeowners. And this part over here, it already existed, but you would be hard pressed to tell me where the line of delineation is between old and new here. And that seamless blending is something that a builder of a certain caliber is able to accomplish. And that's what you get when you contract SteveBuilt, and that's what you get when you contract with Mission Custom Cabinetry. Two of the best in the business working together brings to life a project vision like this that is just absolutely flawless.
I remember sort of having some back and forth with Justine on this. I think the most exciting part about this entire kitchen was this window and us talking about the natural light and the door. I know we had some challenges with trying to find where the fridge was gonna go. There was some back and forth of, do we put it over here by the pantry? Do we put it over here? I think, as Dave said, this lends itself to be a marvelous space that we're very proud of, and we couldn't ask for a better collaboration. It turned out awesome. We're extremely happy. I know the homeowners are. The two-tone was blown out of the park. Like, it's amazing. Everything just dialed right in. Love it.
A compliment to the homeowner on this one. Their penchant for interior decorating, it really accentuates. We're harnessing the framing effect in this, where it accentuates what we've done here as a builder. We build the house, but the homeowners are the ones that make it a home. And as you can see, this black leather here flows very nicely into their furniture selection in the living room. This brown leather here, as you'll see in the front, it contrasts perfectly with the beams that were already there. We just wanted to accentuate these beams. We didn't put them in, they were already part of the existing home. We just wanted to bring some new life to them and kind of shine a spotlight on the natural awesomeness that was already achieved here. So if you'll follow me this way, I'm going to take a moment to talk about the stairs, because once again, flow and continuity. We have these wonderful treads, white oak as well, flows right into the floor. The landing looks like it could have been part of this floor, but believe it or not, it's not. This is another wonderful design executed by Enzo Con. Their in-house carpenters are absolutely phenomenal. Take a look at the banding right here on the newel post. Now look at these black spindles. Is that reminiscent of anything else that we've seen so far? Of course it is, because the design and the eye for continuity and flow has been accounted for here, as well as in the kitchen, as well as in this living room area. It doesn't necessarily need to match, it just needs to go. And in this case, it's going. Speaking of flowing, why don't we flow this way? One of the things I just kind of want to pop in on is the little powder room here that we've refreshed. We've got a wonderful vanity in there from Theodore, beautiful round radius mirror, the matte black faucet once again, TP holder of the same. We didn't do a ton in here other than flooring and giving it some new drywall and nice coat of paint. And here we are at our front entryway. One of the first things that I would like to talk about here is, once again, the millwork. Look at these awesome functional built-ins here. We've got a beautiful cabinet.
Start over, you're not engaging Justine on the millwork.
I was about to, I'm setting her up.
Back it up.
Okay.
Action.
All right.
So the client was really looking for a lot of storage. It was really important to them that they walked in and they weren't going to see all the kids' stuff. They were going to be able to put them away, and there was plenty of space to do so. So here we have the front entry where you can hang your coats, extra storage for shoes, and then more storage for shoes and coats, backpacks, etc. Place to take them off, and plenty of custom elements that also hide certain things. As you can see, what Dave was talking about with the beams, it was really important that we kept the crown flat on it so that we could cut into the beams and make it flow, because we wanted to work with the original space. And then here we brought in more of the white oak. So same color match to the floor on this side as well, with the cabinetry flowing into the rest of the fireplace and then into the bar area.
To circle back to the existing and what it was, it's hard to believe that there was actually a kitchen right here. The old sink was here at this bench, and there was a wall here right underneath this beam here that was bearing. And we put a beam in place, put this here. It's, well, sort of there already, but we put a beam beside it. And this was the old kitchen space. Very segregated, very geometrically challenging, odd compared to everything else. Didn't know what would happen here. Dining room, now it's servery. Absolutely. So yeah, just putting that in a bit of context, just going back to what it was, is just huge transformation. And honestly, like, I struggled looking at the prints, and you just took it and just went with it, and it flows. It just goes so splendidly. So thank you once again, and I just wanted to give some context to that. Yeah.
Absolutely nailed it. Well said. And now what we've done with our structural modifications and Justine's wonderful design sense is we were able to open up this entire area. So we've got our millwork going through and into this new servery area, looking out onto the pool through the slider. We're flanked on either side with more awesome mission work. We've got essentially floor to ceiling cabinets here, same quartz that you see in the kitchen as a bench top here. We have the top here with the bar fridges built in, dueling bar fridges, tons of space for storage for drinks and such. When you're entertaining outside, having a consideration like this is great. There's towels and things that are also housed in here. So not only is this wonderfully formed, but it is also incredibly functional. That brings us to one of my favorite features of this place when it comes to blending the flooring. So as you can see, we have this Brazilian black slate all throughout here, and it's not done in a linear fashion. We have a half stagger pattern that is squared off the wall at the front entry, and when it comes over here, it transitions to a 45, which I think is so cool, the way it comes through and meets the edge of the flooring here. And believe it or not, this was existing when we got here. So this is real black slate, real natural slate. And we were able to source a material that matches perfectly, ties into this area. This little cubby that you're seeing here, this vertical one in front of me, this is another Justine knocked it out of the park moment, because this is the wood storage area that serves this wood burning stove. So Justine, when we're in an area like this, what kind of design inspiration did you draw from to come up with something like this? It's absolutely brilliant.
Well, it was really important for the clients to be able to store wood by their wood burning fireplace. We didn't have a spot to do that, so Steve and I actually on site had gone through the certain dimensions that we would need to be able to create this cubby here to add this wall before we would start the cabinetry.
It's wonderful. As Ed absolutely knocked it out of the park. It looks great. It looks like it's always been there. So here we are in the living room area of the home. A lot of this was existing. We touched it up, of course, new flooring, new drywall, trim, paint, the whole shebang. This built-in was existing when we got here. We dressed it up a little bit, but once again, the homeowner really knocked it out of the park with the selections that they've chosen for this area. The hues in the wood, the tones of the leather, all of this lends itself so well to the tones that Justine introduced into this main floor. And as you can see, it just flows right around, not only physically and organically flows as if one were walking, but the design idea, it also flows through here. We're taking concepts and we're stretching them out through the home. And that's giving a very, very cohesive and together vibe. Purposeful, beautiful, excellent. Where'd you go? Justine! Well, I guess we lost Justine. We've been talking a lot about the interesting geometry of the home. Look at this intersectionality right here. What you see today does not belie how challenging this tie-in was. This section right here, this is where the addition is. So it goes out back on top of the kitchen. This whole area here has been reframed, new interesting geometry that ties into the existing geometry of the home, because once again, those types of things are the quirks and the character that bring a structure like this to life, and we wanted to respect that and work within the parameters that were set forth from the previous builder. As you can see, we got the same flooring up here. The challenge with a portion like this is, how do you orient your floorboards? Normally, rule of thumb is you go along the long wall. That's not the case here. There were some design decisions and concessions that needed to be made. Where do you start? Where do you orient? Along our nosing here, where it's housing these railings that are beautiful, white oak, ties in with the floor. They're running into it at a 45, which is not the norm, but I think it serves the space very, very well here, as it did with the tile layout downstairs in the servery, which was actually the inspiration for how we oriented the floorboards up here. Let's go into the master. We'll talk a little bit about the ensuite. Now, this ensuite was actually somewhat challenging. Steve, I'm sure you remember, this floor was raised. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the floor was originally raised more to accommodate the timbers that were downstairs there on the main floor. They were supporting this whole section really of the existing second floor over top of the old existing kitchen. They built the subfloor really to house all the mechanical work. More or less the plumbing, some HVAC. We ran into a couple different options. Originally, we were gonna keep it as just such. The floor was gonna be raised at 8 inches to house all that. We said, hey guys, in order for you to get more ceiling height here and get rid of that step, because they always wanted it to be seamless,
Of course.
this is what we're gonna present to you.
Right.
And we talked about, and as you've seen down there, the drywall that's now recessed in all those cavities of the beams.
Yep.
And we actually use those chases for all this mechanical work.
Yep.
Proof's in the pudding. It just lends itself so perfectly well to how we executed that.
It goes, yeah, and we've unified all the elevations, which is what you want to do. This was just an existing bedroom. This master suite didn't have a bathroom specifically dedicated to the master, so we came in and we changed that. Once again, very cool flooring layout, luxe tiles, never misses. We've got awesome his and her vanities here, beautiful pulls, matte black faucets flanking on either side. You've got these great powered mirrors here. It's not only a very beautiful, serene space, but it's very functional as well. We sourced these cultured marble panels. They are a solid panel in the wall, glass ink, crushing it with this beautiful surround here. This is a part of the home that speaks so much to the character of it. Not only the roof design and some of the drywall geometry that we had to do, but check this thing out. This flows right into the master suite. This is what we've been affectionately referring to as the Hobbit door. And look at that. Now here we are in the master suite. We've got gorgeous appointments. We can't take credit for that. That's the homeowner's incredible design sense. Once again, doing their own interior decorating, crushing it. You have this awesome balcony. Steve, you want to talk a little bit about the state of this door when we got here?
Yeah, that was interesting. We've seen a lot of rotten structures in our days. I don't even know how that door was still in the opening. We hired Niagara Pre-Hung Doors to come and install all their new exterior doors here, and we had to do some, let's just call it rot repairs around this entire opening. And then obviously, as you see now, we've cased it with the flat stock trim package that they opted for throughout this entire home. And then behind you there is what Dave was mentioning downstairs earlier. That's the central part of the house, and everything is sort of around this chimney.
It's a real feature piece.
Yeah.
But once again, this is the character that we're trying to harness. We're trying to be reverent of. We're trying to show respect for pieces like this in a home. When we come in and we add to, the last thing we want to do is take away from. And you can see like the roof lines coming through, this cool geometry. That we had some bilateral symmetry going on here, where there was originally a window in here where this dresser is. This is now, of course, one of the children's bedrooms, because this was originally an exterior wall that we've now made into part of the addition. The addition's back that way. So once again, tying all of this in together, making sure that the decisions that we're making from not only a design perspective, but also from a functional and structurally sound perspective are all accounted for, because what was required here is what I affectionately refer to as wood wizardry. We didn't know what we were getting into until we got into it, and it was challenging and it was demanding of us, but luckily we put together a team that is up for the challenge and absolutely crushed it, because this could not look better. Homeowners over the moon with this space that's now their private sanctuary. They've got a functional washroom as part of it, and then if you'll walk through this way with me, this is the main entrance to the master. We've got flanking closets, his and hers, awesome. Once again, totally functional. Coming right back out onto the landing, ensuite on my right here. And then what I would like to do is take you into each of these bedrooms, and I'm gonna kind of show you the contrast of old and new and the seamless blending of the elements that I was referencing earlier. So if you'll come in this way, this was existing. We've been, for obvious reasons, calling this the unicorn room. Very cool, very nice space. We gave some new drywall, new pot lighting system. Flooring, of course, beautiful paint and trim, came out awesome. So we really gave that one a facelift. Now, if you'll follow me this way, this is part of the new addition. So this whole hallway was framed in new. And as you can see, when we were framing and devising the structural elements of the addition, we borrowed inspiration from the existing house. We could have done this roof line in this dormer however we wanted, but we chose to make it flow with the rest of the home. Giant window here, letting in tons of natural light. Beautiful shadow bead around the window here. Once again, another flanking window, great flat stock that ties all the design elements in together. And the one thing that I would like to highlight, we referenced before the challenges mechanically of a home like this. So when we're taking out bearing walls and we are introducing beams and things, sometimes what we do is we create an impasse for mechanicals. And that was the case with this part of the home. Conditioning this space became a challenge that we were up for. It was hard to get ductwork in here through the apertures that we were left with. So what we did is we provided them with a split head unit. What do you think, boss? We show them the basement?
Yeah, we did quite
All
a bit
right,
of work
when we
down
do
there.
a whole home remodel, we mean whole home. So if you follow us this way. All right, so here I am coming into the basement down the set of stairs that needed a little bit of a facelift when we got here, so we went ahead and gave it to them. Painted the stringers, railings were existing, just kind of touched those up a little, but we capped all of the treads and risers here with the same flooring that is on the floor down here. Very reminiscent of what's upstairs, but from a cost savings perspective, they opted to go for an LVP. That's a luxury vinyl plank. It flows right here into the lower living room. This area of the home in the basement, once again, replete with the design element that seems to be a through line throughout this place. Beautiful red brick. Didn't do a thing with this, just respected it, protected it, and allowed it to speak for itself. And one thing that I would like to touch upon is one of the challenges that we experienced while we were building here. We have an addition. This provided a challenge to us because there is a cold joint in the concrete because this was added onto. And we noticed that there was hydrostatic water and a couple of joints and foundation cracks that needed to be addressed on the fly while we were doing it. We've got that all remedied. The space is now much more functional. It's way less humid down here. And what we also did is in this window well right behind you here, it seemed to be holding a little bit of water like a basin, so we gave them an external weeper system to kind of help manage that water. There's a couple different ways we could have approached it. We pitched each of those to the client, kind of proposed different options as we like to do, and they opted for this one, so we gave it to them, and I think it's effectively managed all the water in this area, allowing us to put the flooring down with no hesitation, no worry about future water introducing itself into this area and possibly compromising any of the finish work. It's not only prudent of us to do so as a duty of care to the client, but it also helps to ensure and safeguard that all of the hard work that we put in on a project like this stays very unimpeded for a long time. We have some skin in the game as well. We like to build things that last a very long time. What we're walking into right now is, believe it or not, directly under the kitchen. So this is the addition. This is what we were talking about. This is about 8 feet down from the ground level. We've achieved grade down here through bedrock. It was a battle getting here, but we are here and we're standing in what is now the home office for the homeowners. Great space. We've got a little closet there that warehouses some of our mechanicals. No sense in looking at those. It's just a sump pump. Okay, or we can look at them.
Hey man, I love the mechanical stuff. It's functional, right?
It's functional indeed.
Those 3 Fs before. We need this stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
Or else we're gonna have water problems.
And then one thing that I would like to showcase, it's actually in the door behind you there, boss. This originally was the exterior wall of the home. There was a cold cellar where you are. So there was, on the exterior wall upstairs, there was a porch. Underneath that porch was a cold cellar. We got rid of all of that when we were excavating to make room for this new addition. And we were able to take this exterior wall, make it now an interior wall flowing into this home office, just like it had always been here. You would never know other than the thickness of this wall. It's usually a dead giveaway that you're dealing with a formerly exterior wall is the thickness of the wall. It's so functional, it's very cozy down here. We were able to give them this great big new window with a beautiful window well. What do you say, we head upstairs and wrap this thing up?
Yeah.
We're going to head back into our beautiful kitchen area because there's no better place to end a video than with the showpiece of the home. Form and function, flawlessly executed. Speaking of flawlessly executed, did another great job here, boss. What do you think?
Love it. Everything from the challenges, the first initial examination of the project, first consultations, to the final outcome here. To know that we've executed everything and all the challenges every step of the way, and they're so happy.
Yeah.
That's the end all be all for me.
This brings us to another finale for an installment of SBTV Cribs Project Conclusion. I've been your project manager, Dave. This has been your boss, Steve. That handsome man behind the camera has been Jay, and we'll see you next time.